So I got a story about someone losing $2 billion this year.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's okay. So I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
The real Captain America is actually an earthworm, and you're a Cap fan, so I can't wait to tell you this story. So we're going to get into all that. Let's run it.
I'm excited. Let's jump in.
Y'all ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the podcast that never sleeps. Now kick back in your seat and witness greatness.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast Never Sleeps. I'm your host, Killer Cam, aka your boy. And with me always is the funny and very knowledgeable Jared, ladies and gentlemen.
Glad to be back. Yes. I missed you all. Happy holidays. Post-Christmas show. I love it.
Yeah, so if this is your first time at the podcast Never Sleeps, welcome. Happy to have you here. We explore the new, the ancient, and the mysterious.
Oh.
Yeah, good.
I like it. It's all the good stuff. That's the most interesting stuff.
That's
that means
stuff I
it's
care
the
about.
best show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want you to, speaking of it being the best show, I want you to explain what we're diving into today, my guy. Then I'll tell you who might be in studio.
Well, we mentioned already a couple stories we're going to get to, right? You mentioned some. I mentioned some about Earthworms, Captain America. We'll see where that goes. Today we're going to talk about 2023. What happened? What a year. This is like going to go down in history as one of the craziest years of all time. All of the greatest stories of the year. We're going to try and cover all the most interesting ones. I'm talking everything from technology, archaeological finds, to pop culture and nonsense and silliness. But we also have a guest in studio today, so I'm excited about that. So, Cameron, will you do the honors?
So... he is a lawyer by day, a bona fide actual lawyer by day.
Crime fighter by night.
And a crime fighter by night.
Yep.
No, he
Mysterion.
actually, he goes to bed at night and he just goes to sleep. But
makes more sense.
Mysterion, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the amazing and talented Strat in the building, guys.
Strat, welcome to the show.
That's you, buddy. That's you.
Hey, happy to be here, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man, we're happy to have you.
So you're an environmental lawyer, yes?
That is correct.
This is the info. This is the info on my cards. Jared, you gave me these cards. Is this correct information?
That is correct information. So we're gonna get into some cool questions. I just want to hear your point of view on a few things. So I'm excited when we get there. So stay tuned. We're gonna dive into a few different issues with a bona fide environmental lawyer.
Nice.
And he's also from a place that is surrounded by controversy. So I want to ask him about where he lives, specifically the state.
Do you live in a state of controversy?
Yeah. So I'm excited to get there because we hear a lot of things about this place from the outside. I want to know an insider's point of view.
Yeah, you make it sound so curious. Just where do you live? Just tell us where you live.
Los Angeles.
Okay, there you go. Oh, now I get it.
In the state of California.
In the state of California.
Very exciting stuff. Yeah.
Which is in a state of disarray. That's at least what it looks like from the outside. So we're excited to get into that and see what's really going on behind the scenes.
See what's really
from
going
an
on.
insider.
Happy to fill in any holes that you guys need.
Thanks.
Well, that came
Dude,
out
that
wrong.
came
but
out really well. I was going to say that came out great.
You're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So before you fill in any holes, I did want to say, so I teased you a little bit by saying someone lost $2 billion.
Yeah, I really want to know more about this because that makes me like sick to my stomach.
Yeah, Stratton, I'm going to give you Strat is my guy. I'm going to give you a guess. Who do you think lost $2 billion?
Well, it's either Elon Musk or
You know it. Yep.
Disney.
It is Disney.
It is.
I knew it. I knew it.
Of course.
Why did Disney lose $2 billion? So could you imagine, first of all,
No.
$2 billion fucking dollars?
Yep. Nope. It would be Black Tuesday. Is that right? Was it
That's
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, during the
Great
Depression.
Depression.
Yeah, where it started, where everybody lost all their money
where
overnight.
everyone like killed themselves. And
yeah,
stuff,
like Titanic people were like,
Titanic people.
That's
were
what
like,
it was. All the Titanic people. They all lost all their
All
money.
the survivors only.
Exactly. Yeah. They come back and they're like,
We
what?
survived for this.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's how I would feel, and I don't care. And they lost it in 1 year. If I would have lost that over the course of 10 years, I would still be I'd be crying in the
pissed.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
tell me
that's
how
only
this
$200 million a year, though.
Yeah, that's
very
insane.
doable.
That's disgusting. That makes me crazy.
Yeah, that is.
We
doable.
know a little bit about why. We saw their content this year.
Number one.
Highlight some things, Cameron.
Number one.
Yeah.
Out of several, this big controversy they have with the Snow White thing. They wouldn't put dwarves in it.
And it didn't even come out. So
No.
there's no. That's not even on the
No, of
profit
the
and loss
fiscal,
statement.
profit and loss statement, sure. But that's another reason why people aren't loving them.
Right.
Their streaming service numbers are going down every minute.
Okay.
As every minute passes, they're losing subscribers. They're losing.
Doesn't
money.
it cost a fortune?
They just raised the price because they're
Yeah.
losing it so much. They just raised it to like 14. What is it? 13.99, something like that.
It's such mandatory content, in my opinion. But what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say when half of your viewership is just for
Shy-
Star
sure.
Wars offshoots, and you
Yeah.
know when you run out of ideas and you're just recycling old ones. I mean, people get
They
tired.
they get tired. It only lasts so long,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a business model that's fucking it's gonna last
We need
forever.
4 versions of Beauty and the Beast, like
Minimal.
6
I mean,
different
man,
little.
why do you think they
Mermaids.
just came out with another Indiana Jones? Right? They're
Exactly.
out of original ideas.
As much as I love
the dial
indie-
of dysentery, right? Is that, I'm pretty
Jesus.
sure that's what it's called.
Oh, come on.
I didn't even make that
That's
up.
a low
That's
blow.
terrible.
Yeah.
Someone on YouTube came up with that. I didn't even come up with that.
Ouch.
But something like that. What were we saying?
I liked it. So I'm like a huge Indiana Jones
You
fan.
watched it? You didn't even watch it,
Of
you
course.
liar.
It's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, of course. It's
Oh, I
been
might-
on there for a long time.
I might not
They
watch it.
still have one subscriber.
Yeah.
What up,
I'm-
big dog?
I'm the
What
one
up,
guy
D?
left.
Yeah, you're him.
Exactly. So yeah, that PNL's not looking so good. The movie itself, obviously, it's not freaking Raiders. And
Yeah.
as much as I wanted a new indie, maybe they just shouldn't have done it. I loved the passing of the
origin
torch.
story, but to a woman.
the last one.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
This
no,
is
no.
to a woman in
No,
this one.
yeah, this was weird.
And that's one of the things that Disney's getting a lot of flack for.
They
also.
said Shia LaBeouf, none of this happened.
They're pandering. That would have been cool. I would have liked. Dude,
Yes,
Shia's my boy.
if
I
Shia,
like him
and he
everything.
would have been his father in this one instead. So he's the older guy. Shia
No,
is the new
it's
guy.
like Last Crusade.
And he has to
Yeah.
help. Exactly. If they would have
Would've been
redone
dope.
Last Crusade with Shia as the new Indy, I would have been.
I'm
all
for
in.
it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So that is one of the reasons. Disney Plus losing subs left, right, and center. Also, they just are
Merry
pandering to an audience. Someone say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Tina.
we got Dee,
So,
we got Tina. Thank you. Guys.
They're pandering to an audience. And they're like specific people.
Yeah.
And we brought up recently a great quote from what's his name?
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin
Yeah.
quote that's saying, create art for yourself. Don't create it for everyone else.
Of
Because
course.
you'll never please everybody.
Yeah, there's no
If
way.
you create art that you love, that you enjoy, people are going to like it.
Yeah, well, you know, a true artist has something within them that they want to share, right? If you're creating it for someone
dude,
else,
that's like part of Rick
the whole
Rubin's quote.
point.
Yeah.
No, I used to think Rick Rubin was a bit of a quack, but I feel like a lot
He
of
is.
I mean, to an extent, he
Yeah.
is, but they all are. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but he has
You
something to
gotta
say
be.
that actually has value, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that quote has a lot of value when it
Oh,
comes to
for
art.
sure.
my
And it's so
gosh.
true. And Disney's proving that point right now. There's a lot more I want to get to about this year. It's the year of memoirs, oddly enough.
Yeah. Year of
Memoirs.
disclosure.
Year
We're
of
going to
dis-
touch there. Yeah, for sure.
Talk to me. What do you mean with a year of disclosure?
Well, this is the biggest year of disclosure as far as the UAP topic ever. I think the only year that rivals this, and it's not even close, was 2017, where they ran that New York Times article about the government has a secret UAP program, and they've had it for years.
Okay.
But
So Stratton, real quick, when I say
Yeah.
UAP disclosure, what are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of UFOs and another acronym for it that I just
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah.
You want to guess?
Unidentified-
UAP.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, unidentified aerial projectile.
Ooh, that's
Close.
cool.
Okay.
It's
But-
actually, and they changed what it meant recently, which is interesting.
We actually disagree on what it means.
No, it's not disagreed. It is what it is now. They changed it, so it used to be unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay.
But because these phenomenon go in the water,
I've
so
seen
now
that.
they call it anomalous phenomenon because it's not just aerial anymore.
I feel like that
It's
opens
still-
up
it's
the
still just
definition
aerial.
quite a bit.
It's out in space. It's underwater and it's in our airspace. So it's anomalous instead of aerial.
Yeah, I guess.
But I feel like if you take that definition, right, then it could be anything. It could be something. It could be Bigfoot walking.
Yeah, see, now you
that's
get
an
too.
anomaly.
It's too broad now.
It's a little too broad in my opinion. But
it's
again,
yeah.
I'm
And
sure
you
there was
know
a
why
lot
they
of
do
fun.
this, right? Is so the reason they change the acronym so often is because of FOIA requests. So they have to abide by these requests.
People walk in, they're like, "Oh, I want my foyer to be different. Is that it? A foyer request?
that's close.
I want a chandelier in my foyer.
As an attorney, I can tell you that that's absolutely wrong.
Yeah, we have an attorney.
I'm an attorney guy. What's a fucking foreign or whatever
It's a
request?
Freedom of Information Act request.
There we go. So when people do these Freedom of Information Act requests, a lot of people were saying, give me everything you have on UFOs or unidentified flying objects between this year and that year, and they weren't getting anything. Because they changed the acronym, people didn't know what to search for. Not only that, we know the government's been lying up until 2017 that these things even existed. They were pretending that they had no interest in this stuff, that it was complete nonsense. And then this article comes out showing that not only have they had a program during 2017, but the program has been going back for decades. So they've always been interested in this topic. They've always had no idea what some of this stuff is.
Yeah.
And this was the year of the big whistleblowers.
2023. So you
This
mean
was
because
the year.
we've had Bob Lazar. So, but 2023. You saying David Grush as the fucking? He's the guy.
David Grush, the whistleblower, is one part of this.
Okay.
We had the most important man in Senate. It's the Senate Majority Leader.
Oh, okay.
The Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, put forward some language in the NDAA, which
Can I
just
do my
passed.
Chuck Schumer impression?
Please.
Chuck Schumer.
There you go. I like it. It could be. It could be him.
That's unbelievably accurate.
It's me, Chuck Schumer.
There you go.
It's good.
So
right?
stupid.
So he put forth language, and in the NDAA language that he proposed, it mentioned non-human intelligence over like 100 times. We're talking about the most important guy in the Senate putting forth transparency language in the NDAA that Congress had to pass, and it talks about non-human intelligence dozens of times. This isn't just, is there something out there anymore? This is the head of the Senate saying, we need to know more about this, and we know you have more information. Give it to the public, make it transparent, put together a panel to review, and let this stuff out into the public.
Stratton, do you think the populace could survive us saying, "Hey guys, aliens are real"? Not only are they real, we've been dealing with them
We
for
have their
fucking
stuff. We've been
decades.
dealing-
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, and I think it's evident in what happened in 2023, right? I mean, they made that public knowledge, and people didn't react the way
People didn't jump off
people
bridges and
didn't
say,
jump off.
But let me ask this.
Yeah.
Not one mainstream media source actually covered the David Grush story at all. They didn't cover the hearings, but maybe threw like a 10-second thing at the end of a show and just, there was a hearing, by the way, about UAPs with all of these credible witnesses.
like on the way out,
top military guys.
And this was the 6 o'clock news. Thank you guys so much. By the way, there's something about AUPs. What are they? APUAs.
UAPs.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Pretty much. There were
Pretty much.
There were experts and credible witnesses and our top gun fighter pilots coming forward saying we're seeing this stuff all the time. Hundreds of sightings. There is a CIA division whose job it is to go retrieve crashed vehicles of non-human origin. We got all of this
That's
this
a
year.
sick job.
And no one ran with it.
Can you see?
News Nation
Imagine
was the
on
only one.
Indeed it says.
I'm taking. I would love that. Oh my god! that'd be the greatest job ever.
Looking for employee pays minimum wage.
Minimum wage, but I take it just for that reason. Yeah.
Finding fucking
Listen, I feel
UFOs.
like the people who are in that division or in that group, they're not the ones who are posting for jobs on Indeed.
No.
right?
Yeah.
They're the ones that are doing Black Ops, and they're doing something a little more.
Yeah, that they said straight up. That special forces guys that they use for this stuff. The CIA.
A little more undercover, a little more nefarious, probably. But
You think they play Black Ops? Really? Really?
Not even the scientific community is involved in this. They don't get the top scientists from around the world to work on this stuff because secrecy is so important.
Yeah.
How gross is that? The transparency bill was meant to bring this into the scientific community so that the top minds can work on this stuff, figure out how it works, what it is, where it's from, and then we could glean some new information, create some new technology.
You want to talk about gross, dude?
Yeah.
King of segues. You want to talk about gross?
Oh, please.
Imagine being a comedian making up stories using xenophobia. Making up stories about xenophobia.
Gosh.
Just so you can get views, clicks.
That's terrible.
Yeah. get known by more people. I don't know, get infamy. But
this is a famous person that did this, or someone trying to become famous? Because I feel like there's a lot of that out there in Twitter world.
We talked about it on the show previously.
I
explained in thorough detail to you before. But
but for the audience, I remember.
Oh yeah.
This story,
okay.
dude.
Yeah. What's his name? Who did it?
It's for them. It was that guy. It's some comedian, and he. Yeah, there you go. I remember.
Shit.
His entire story though.
What? Ready?
It
Go.
was prom, and he was supposed to pick up this girl, and the parents told him that they didn't want him to take her to prom because he wasn't the same nationality as her.
Stupid as shit.
Terrible story.
Yeah, but why'd you lie about that? Would you make that up, Stratton? You would probably.
I personally wouldn't.
That's insane.
But
you wouldn't make up a story about trying to take a girl to prom and then the parents of the girl didn't let you because you're Muslim.
No, I wouldn't make up a story like that. But here, here's my thing. I'm not a Hassan Minhaj apologist. I do like him, and I do understand also in the realm of comedy that there are exaggerations and stories being made.
But for comedy's sake,
that's true.
No, yes. But at the same time, let me qualify that by saying at the same time, I feel like he did take it a little too far because when you add that sort of political and social commentary into it, and you're trying to you're saying that you're relating your own stories to it, and this is my experiences, right? Then you're selling it as reality.
That's
I feel like that's a little too far.
It creates division. You're basically presenting the world or the country as a place where this is going on a regular basis.
Look at this, what I had to deal with. Look at this plight which is a plight that people actually have to deal with. Yeah. So you don't have to make up stories.
Right. Yeah, this does happen, but we have made some strides. I feel like we are getting somewhere, right? Okay. With this type of issue. So I think highlighting that stuff and trying to make it topical is misrepresenting how far we're really coming.
Yeah, and even if you think that story probably happened at some point, and
I'm sure it happened to someone.
I'm
exactly.
Sure it's
That's the problem.
I have no doubt that for any variety of combinations of socio-cultural distinctions or differences between a family and a suitor to be or whatever you want to call it.
Right. I like suitor to be. Let's always call it that.
Let's call it suitor to be from now on. Yeah, that just came to me. I don't know.
That was very good.
No, you had it written down. I see it.
Yeah, I know. It's in your notes.
But I mean, there's just no need to really try sell it that way and kind of he almost martyred himself for it, and it just seemed unnecessary.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's why most people had an issue with it. If you told it as a joke and reworded it in a way that this is something that somebody might have dealt with, maybe there's a way to do it, or just write a different joke. It wasn't really that good. Was that the highlight of the show? No. So write something else.
Oh, dude, my closer. I got this big closer where I tell this made up story about how Anyway, moving on.
People had a lot of problems.
He got enough airtime making fucking stories up.
Yeah.
So now it's my turn, guys.
Yeah.
I went to take this girl to prom, and you'll never guess what happened. She's like, "Oh, what are you, white?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
The story's terrible already.
Nope.
It is terrible.
It's getting worse.
And she's white too.
Oh, it's getting worse.
Yep.
Am I digging myself a hole?
Yeah.
I was just trying to.
I'm sure you have real stories.
I do have. See, that's a good point. I'll tell my real stories. I went to take a girl to homecoming.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I take that back.
Okay.
I'm already starting off lying.
Yeah, Jesus.
A girl asked me to take her to homecoming.
Okay.
And I said, okay.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
But
in other news, did this happen in 2023? Is this topical?
No.
Okay.
There's real story to it, but it's graphic to say the least. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Okay. It's a fun, cute story. You know what's not so fun and cute? King of Segways is the writers and the actor strike. Do you remember that?
Of course.
That old chestnut?
Yeah. In fact...
who lives in California? Because I know that's where most of it was...
Yeah. What was the landscape like?
So, dude, living there just walking LA. Through the streets, like Tom Hanks over here...
It's exactly what it was.
Another actor over there.
Fran Drescher, leader of SAG.
That's what it
right over there.
Is.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
we want more pay.
One thing people who don't live in LA don't realize is how big of a place LA is.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it. I'm currently dating an actress, and I saw how it affected her. And I
No, this is great. He's
and I saw how it affected her, and I obviously both from her and from my own, just reading about articles, in the Times.
She's a SAG actress.
She's a SAG actress.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
She's a very good actress. I've seen some of her stuff. Our relationship is new, so
if you hadn't seen some of her stuff, you'd be a prick.
Yeah, right.
I would just say, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
No, so
that's facts.
I mean, some of the biggest issues, right? So here's the one that stuck out to me the most as a non-actor is they were starting to put in the contracts is that once you acted, even if you acted in an extra background role, whatever it was, they could take your likeness and use it using AI and use you,
and you don't get a dime
in perpetuity
forever. No,
forever.
That is not okay.
And have and that was it, right? You signed that contract to get one gig because you're a struggling actor or actress or whatever.
That's
awful. All of a sudden Hollywood has your rights forever.
No.
And that was one of the biggest sticking
things
points
to
my understanding.
For sure.
That is taking advantage.
And they won. They won on that point.
That sounds like the music industry in the 80s and 70s and stuff.
Yeah, my understanding is that was one of the big sticking points, the sort of non-negotiable sticking points, right?
Yeah,
because
that's huge.
It's
that's not fair.
It's totally messed up.
Disney again got sued by Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, because they put Black Widow out, right? It's supposed to be this big feature release, and then they're like, oh, it's on streaming, but like in her contract there wasn't she doesn't get royalties for streaming. Yeah. So she's like, oh yeah. Fucked, man.
I finally get a headline film and I get nothing. Yeah, that's BS.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that's
so good for her for suing, and she won, right?
She won. Yeah.
As she should.
Yeah,
as she should have.
So other than that, I mean, how did it affect her? I mean, mentally. I mean, what was the space like?
Well, it was tough because every actor is out of work.
Yeah.
If you're a SAG actor, right?
Did she
you're out of work.
Did she actually go out and do the
picketing
and
she
stuff?
went out and picketed.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, she did.
If you were to attempt to work as you'd be ousted.
Yeah,
right?
you wouldn't be a part of SAG.
They'd be like
right?
later. Yeah,
it'd be later. And again, for details and reasons that I don't understand totally, there are certain actors that are not in SAG, and I think you do have to get a certain number of a certain type of jobs, SAG jobs, in order to become a SAG actor.
Yep.
Right.
So, not everybody is a SAG actor, and there were exceptions, right? There were certain types of films, like certain non-union jobs that you could have.
Yeah.
Don't wink at me.
Was she happy with the outcome? Was she happy with it? Did she?
Yeah, she's happy with the outcome. But I think above all, she's happy that there's people in power like Fran Drescher who push for this kind of stuff, and that she's able to go back to work because she really cares and is passionate about acting.
Yeah,
that's so cool to me. Because a lot of people want to be actors because they're like, oh, I want to be famous, and I want to ride in limos. I want to be a rock superstar and live large, right? A big house and 5 cars.
Jesus.
For real.
Yeah. But it's cool when you actually appreciate the art, like Daniel Day-Lewis. You're like, oh, it's a movie. Oh, is it Last of the Mohicans? All right. So I'll live in the woods for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like fucking all right, man.
Oh, no. This is an art form for sure. Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah, and I just think, again, I think most of them are just happy to be able to go back to work.
For sure.
Most people do it for the love of it, right? And they care about it, and they think that they can be good, and they think that they have an art.
It has to be fair.
Going back to that Rick Rubin quote. It's they think they have something to share. They have something of artistic value that will make the world a better place, through their art. They want to share that with everyone else. And for that reason, as someone who is not that, I'm a lawyer. So literally the complete opposite.
So yeah.
And it does, dude. What's better than going to a theater opening night of a big film, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, where you're from, everyone is screaming and cheering when Captain America catches the hammer, or you know what I mean? These moments that we really that bring us all together through entertainment, through this art form. So I'm a huge movie fan and proponent.
And
of
even
this.
without that, right? Even if you get a small bit role on a show, or you get a commercial, right? You're looking at the TV. You're able to call your parents and say, "Hey, look what I did. Look what I was able to accomplish." Somebody else that I presented myself to and my artistic ability to saw value in that.
Yeah.
And wanted to put that on a higher pedestal.
See, and that's crazy. And cool that's feeling. What's so cool is it's almost like fighting, where you are the art, right? Yeah. With acting, that's
You're
how it is.
You're the product.
You're the product.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a graphic designer, I'll show you my resume, which is a bunch of dope stuff I've done in the past, right? If I'm an editor, I'll show you cool things I've edited in the past. Fighter, it's like I'm 18-0, right?
Yeah.
and an actor, it's like, look at how I pretended to be this.
This is my book of business.
And I embodied this fucking real life person, this made up person. It's insane. But I do want to talk a little bit about the environmental lawyer thing. So
before we get there, since we're on the topic of LA,
I start that when Jared wanted to continue on something?
I want to know something.
Yeah.
When I see, so any TikTok I see about California is just like Gucci stores being robbed by 50 people. And Target, everything is
the streets are covered with tents.
Everything's tented up. What is the actual, is that an accurate representation of what California's become right now? Like what, because things have changed these past few years. Like, tell me about it.
Yeah, things have changed a lot. I've never seen sort of flash mob robbery in person, right? But it's happened in places. It's happened in my hometown. It's happened in the Valley. I grew up in LA. It's happened in Santa Monica, where I live.
Wild, dude.
When I did see, the only time I really did see that kind of thing in person was during the BLM riots back in May. I want to say May 2020.
So they're to blame. I'm kidding.
Don't.
Can I make jokes? I mean, how PC do we gotta be?
You can make one joke.
You get one.
It was.
So I've hit my quota.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was back in May 2020, and I was out, and I actually walked out during the riots to take photographs, and it was a wild time. Everybody was kind of going nuts. Again, talking about a riot and looting in that respect is very different than talking about sort of a flash robbery,
right?
Happening on any day of the week. But that was one of the times that I had seen it. And it was, it was absolutely insane. And I'm fairly certain that
that's not a representation of day-to-day life there.
Right, correct.
So when you're driving down, you're going to work or going home from work, are you seeing crime-ridden streets? Are you seeing like tents everywhere?
So yes, to the last point, I am seeing tents everywhere.
Oh, okay,
so
that's rough.
I live in Santa Monica, right, which is one of the most sort of juxtaposed communities, I would say, maybe in the world.
Good word.
That makes sense.
Yeah, where you have a ton of affluence, you have a ton of money, you have a ton of wealth in certain parts of it, and then you go down to the beach and you go down to Venice or you go down to Santa Monica, and it is tent row, right? And I do a lot of work. Volunteer work when it comes to the houseless community in Los Angeles, and I see it in the areas that I deliver. We do some, what they call street walks, where we hand out, we pass out meals and stuff like that. And
cool.
I mean, it is.
Oh, you've been a part of those?
That's awesome.
Yes, since 2019 now, so about 4 years, and. It really is sad to see, but it is happening all over Los Angeles. And not just Los Angeles, right? It's happening all over the country, especially in big metropolitan areas. But LA has a...
I heard Portland's disastrous.
Yeah, Portland's tough, but LA has a really tough, combination of really great weather, right? So, like, you have places like Chicago, you have places like New York, right? There's only... People can't survive in tents during the winter.
Right. Oh, my
Whereas
God.
in California and Los Angeles, it's year-round, and you have it there. And there is... there are solutions there that I cannot think of, right?
Yeah. We don't have all the answers.
A lot of people, a lot smarter than me, have been trying to think of for a long time. But I do know that, just to keep it broad, is that the local and state governments have done a really piss poor job of using funds and utilizing programs to help those people out.
Well, we got the chat here saying, so a lot of these people, a lot of them are doing robberies from out of town. So they're coming to LA, they're coming to California to commit these types of crimes because they feel like they can get away with it easier, is what I think he's saying.
Yeah.
And he's saying that...
Shout out Given Life.
Yeah, Given Life, man. Welcome to the chat. Welcome back.
Yeah.
That right down the street from Venice Beach, that's where you have really big homeless encampments. And so you just said you don't have answers to some of these problems. But from an environmental perspective, because that's your expertise, what do you think the biggest issues that you face or that we face environmentally coming from what you do as a profession? Like, what are the biggest issues that you think we have?
Well, that's a tough question. So I wouldn't relate it. Obviously there are, there's issues when it comes to, hearkening it back to what we were just talking about when we talk about homeless and houseless encampments and those communities within the area. There are, sanitation issues. There are, disease issues when people are living that closely packed together without access to healthcare, without access to, sanitary supplies. And that's part of what we do. Some of the organizations that I work with, part of what they do is they not just food, but also, sanitary items. Things.
Are these organizations that you found like through your work, or that are just third party that you met?
I'll give a shameless plug right now. It's actually a couple buddies of mine from college that they've really, worked hard and dedicated a lot of their time and their lives to coming up with this program. It's called EYIKES, EAYIKES. And if you're looking for a real grassroots nonprofit organization to donate to, I would put my heart and soul behind that, my reputation on the line, supporting them.
Cool. No, I like this plug. This sounds like they're doing something great.
Yeah,
and there's some beautiful people that work for that organization, people that I met in college that I knew were good people when I met them, and to see what they've done since has been absolutely fantastic.
So what is it exactly? Cool. Would you mind explaining a little more? Because this sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
So what do they do exactly?
So they do a little bit of everything. They help out where they can. They do community events. They work with the houseless and when it comes to food, sanitary supplies, things like that.
Because there's stuff you don't think about, like. Yeah, sanitation. Of course, that's an issue, right? But you don't think like, oh, do they have? Yeah, are they? Because they don't have their houses, so they don't just have toilets they can use. Like, there's so much little things you don't think about. But yeah. So I'm sorry, but you.
That extends all the way to summer camps for kids. Kids from the city, kids that probably wouldn't.
Right. You have children here.
Yeah, and when it comes to a place like Los Angeles, again, we are very fortunate in Los Angeles and California to have so much amazing outdoor resources available to us, right? Camping and all that stuff. And there's a lot of kids in the city that really haven't had a chance to experience that. So part of what they've done is they've put their time and effort into, making that kind of, that portion of our environment and portion of what's available to them.
Yeah, that's a beautiful cause.
It's very cool.
That is very cool. So that's definitely a major one. So you've got the homeless, you got the homeless that you're taking care of, and there's sanitation issues. What about environmentally? If we're taking the, like the homeless folks out of it, we're talking about maybe corporations or regulations. Is there any of that you touch on a normal basis? Is that in your wheelhouse?
Yeah. So that is my wheelhouse. Cool. That is totally my wheelhouse. So I would say there's two levels that I'll really talk about right now when it comes to environmental regulations, right?
Yeah.
There is federal, and when you hear about the Trump rollbacks and things like that, when it comes to different climate initiatives, that's essentially what it's talking about. And then you have the state level, which is not really affected or touched by those kind of policy decisions. When it comes to the state, when it comes to California, California has really put time and effort into creating a regulatory scheme that is protective of the environment.
Good.
And you see that. I mean, there's been, in my line of work, I've seen zero rollback when it comes to that.
That's amazing.
That is very important. But you also have the federal scheme too. And even when you talk about, you talk generally about some of the Trump administration rollbacks and things like that, it hasn't really affected on the day-to-day what I do, even on federal. So some of the main federal statutory schemes that I work with are called CERCLA and RCRA. Now, those are acronyms for things that are too long to explain right now.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
But essentially, what it does is creates what's called strict liability for environmental contamination, right? So,
nice.
So what that means is that, regardless of fault, if you're standing in the shoes at the moment that contamination is found, then you're responsible. Now, if you take, for example, if you're buying a big piece of property and you take certain measures before you purchase that property, adequate investigation, adequate, characterization of what contamination might be, then you have what's called liability protections.
Okay.
Right? So you have that in store, and you have that to protect yourself against, future prosecution, whether it's civil,
that seems
regulatory,
fair.
criminal, whatever it is.
So we're protecting industry, we're protecting innovation and growth of industry, private industry, but we're also protecting the environment. And when we're protecting the environment, are you speaking like carbon emissions, or what are we talking about?
Sometimes. So to kind of add a little bit to that. So a lot of people, what their general understanding of environmental law is Exxon Valdez.
Yeah.
They think of Aaron Brockovich. They think of DuPont Chemical. They think of the criminal sanctions. Criminal prosecution.
Just give some color to a couple of those for people that might not know those specific stories.
So Exxon Valdez.
That one. Go ahead.
Exxon Valdez. You talk about a giant oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. You talk about Aaron Brockovich, which is about water contamination, and same with DuPont Chemical.
For an entire community of people, they were turning on the faucets and drinking poison.
Basically.
And mixing up food and water for their kids.
Aaron Brockovich, great movie directed by Soderbergh, right? Yeah.
I think it was Steven Soderbergh, Good so a lot of what I do is actually very little of what I do is actually criminal prosecution. So where a lot of environmental laws are enforced is at the regulatory level. So when you talk about federal, you talk about the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, right?
Yeah,
The U.S. EPA. On the state level in California, and I do work in all different states, but in California you have the Department of Toxic Substances Control, which is DTSC, or what
that was Jared's nickname in high school.
Hey, DTSC, or the state and regional water boards, and that's where a lot of these regulatory schemes are enforced, right? So, for example, you have a company.
That's what Gitmo got in trouble for doing, those water boards.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
All right. I thought we said one joke, right? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, one joke. Period. Okay.
I kid.
That's my quota.
I kid. No. So a lot of say for example, there's a company, right? It's an industrial company that, maybe they're a steel mill. Okay. And as part of that steel mill operation, they either use and or generate hazardous waste or hazardous substances.
Okay.
They have to be permitted for that, right? They're allowed to do that. There are certain industrial processes that's required.
Yep.
Okay.
Whether it's creating computer chips or anything like that. A lot of these industries do that, but it's permitted. It's regulated by these agencies.
Okay.
Now, say they create too much hazardous waste and they don't report it, or they use hazardous substances and the barrels that they put them in are leaking into the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that kind of thing is they'll be come after by the Department of Toxic Substances Control or the water boards, and they will say, listen,
EPA,
you violated this. The statutory penalty is this amount. Tell us why we're wrong.
Good.
And then you have a back and forth, and you end up coming up with what's
Tell
generally
us why
called,
we're wrong. I like that.
yeah. No, generally comes up with some sort of negotiated consent agreement where you agree to take certain measures to fix whatever issues you have and pay a certain penalty.
Yeah.
So that is what I would say a vast majority of at least the environmental law that I practice is. It's not so much
I like that.
The loud Aaron Brockovich, that kind of stuff, which is amazing. It's good stuff. I'm glad that people are working.
So without saying any names, have you worked on a case against a big company that maybe most people have heard the name?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Were you lying?
No. I'm not lying.
Say, exciting stuff.
No, but I've worked. See, another thing that I want to say is, when you look at these stories, you look at these, Hollywood productions about these issues, right? When you talk about Aaron Brockovich, you talk about Exxon Valdez.
What's that great one with Matt Damon and John Krasinski, Green?
Oh, I don't know that. I know
you don't know.
There's Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo, which is great.
Yeah, the one about fracking. It's really good. Green.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that.
Promised Land. Promised Land.
Oh, Promised Land. Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
It's John Krasinski and Matt Damon. I think they wrote it together, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a cool little duo.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's wicked. Go on.
Two Boston boys.
Yeah.
Is Krasinski a Boston boy?
I think Krasinski's a Boston boy, yeah.
That would make sense.
He was in that Kia commercial with Ben Affleck where they talk about Packy Cat.
Packy Cat. I really thought he was from Connecticut.
I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
From Connecticut. From
Jim? Scranton?
Yeah. From
you got my joke. I'd love to know if there was a specific issue that you think would be extremely important that we don't have today. Like if you had a wish list and there was one thing that you could put on that wish list, a change, a regulation, what would that be? What do you think is like the biggest thing that we're not handling that do you personally feel like would be important?
I'm going to answer that very generally, and it might might not be a satisfactory answer, but I feel like probably it's really holding us back. And again, I have clients that that deal with these regulations every day, and they're very difficult to a lot of them are very difficult to navigate. When you talk about what's called the Clean Air Act, right? When you talk about emissions, you talk about carbon emissions, greenhouse gases, that kind of stuff, which are highly regulated. You have the Clean Water Act, which is the equivalent for water and what they call surface waters or waters of the United States, WOTUS. So you have POTUS, right? President of the United States. You have waters of the United States. They actually called WOTUS.
Love it.
It's just making them easier to navigate, making them easier to understand.
What's the VP called? VPOTUS?
The VEP, right?
The VPOTUS, I guess.
No, I think it's VPOTUS, right?
Well, I know that term, but they have to have an Otis, right?
Yeah, they got to. Everyone has to have
Everyone needs an Otis.
You need an Otis.
I know I'm the COTUS.
That's
stupid. Anyway.
Just to finish, make them easier to navigate, but also I feel like there's a lot more.
Do you think they're hard to navigate on purpose?
No, I don't, because I think that the goal of these regulations is to actually make it as easy as possible for these corporations or personal entities to do that. But at the same time, I feel like one thing that may be holding people back or holding these regulations back are climate deniers, and not just general climate deniers, but people
are what?
In position climate deniers.
Climate deniers.
Climate change deniers.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah.
But also like these
I
people
in climate deniers. I'm like, I know what that is.
These people in power that just don't believe climate change is real. And I feel like if we had a collective mind that was working on these regulations to make them clear without people in the background going like, this doesn't actually exist. Like this isn't an issue.
You think that's for money's sake? You think that's real? You think
I think everything in politics is for money's sake.
It is.
I'm a pure, cynical.
Yeah, I think we all are here.
Yeah.
Dude, this is interesting stuff. You should write a book like a memoir. Speaking of,
you said this is the year of memoirs. I can't imagine how many memoirs could have come out this year, or at least any of note. But I'm excited to hear that you have some.
Tree.
Oh, let's do it.
Prince Harry.
Mm-hmm. You wrote a memoir?
He wrote a memoir.
Wow.
Thank God.
You know what it's called?
They're hot right now. This is a good time for a Prince Harry memoir.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it came out at the beginning of the year, but sure. Yeah. So you want to know what it's called? Spare. Because he feels like a spare tire. Oh. No, I don't know why he called it that. But it's called.
I was like, wow, that's actually profound.
I know
like,
it. Well, the name when I read it, I'm like, the name must be profound because I don't get it.
He's a big bowling fan.
yeah.
That would be great. I picked up the greatest spare, dude.
Yeah,
Chapter 4.
It's called the 110 pickup. Yeah, I don't know. No, so it's called Spare. Today.com said Prince Harry kicked off the year. Hence, by revealing details about his life as a British royal and his strained relationship with his family in the memoir 110 Spare.
Does it blow you away that the Western world still has like monarchs like this?
Yes.
Yeah, it blows me away.
It's wild, right?
Absolutely. I think it's
so
ludicrous.
strange.
It's insane.
Especially because they have no actual
power
or
it's
like
more for tradition.
They're like, look at how we dress.
They may as well be the Kardashians. I mean, it's literally the same
Kardashians have more power. I think.
Probably.
That's hilarious.
Probably.
Yeah. The dowry's about the same size.
He opened up about disagreements between wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, not feeling comforted by King Charles III after Princess Diana died. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, of course.
And a fight between him and his brother William.
People love the royals.
Prince of Wales.
They love,
dude. They
this
love
stuff.
even like some Americans love.
Oh yeah, they love this stuff.
It's crazy. He also revealed how he used drugs and alcohol in the past to ignore his pain.
Oh,
yeah. Harry's book immediately broke records, selling more than 3.2 million copies.
I could see that.
Right in its first week.
Yep. Like I said, they're hot right now. They have like Netflix shows. They've got interviews with all the biggest names. I mean,
facts. So who else wrote a memoir? We've talked about him on the show.
Who else wrote a memoir?
Not him. If you
Samuel Jackson.
I said I said apostrophe em. So I'm making sure I'm not saying him. That should give you a hint.
Oh,
it's a woman.
Okay.
There's two women that wrote. And I mentioned both.
John Carpenter.
That is a woman who wrote a memoir in 2023.
Go for it. I can't. I don't know. Susan Sarandon.
No, it's like somebody that you do know because we've talked about it.
Oh.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh, Brittany S. Pierce. From Glee.
Yeah. The character. No, Britney Spears, of course.
Okay.
Do you remember what it was called?
That makes more sense.
It was called The Woman in Me.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. You wouldn't remember that. And it was just basically trashing Justin Timberlake.
Because the woman in you brings out the man in me. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll be the man in you. Is that the next part? No?
It's very close. It's a song. That's what the song's about. Go ahead.
And then, so yes, the woman in me. She trashed Justin. And
that's right.
Talked about the shmashmortion.
Hard on all that, yeah.
Said they had a shmashmortion. Remember that business?
I do remember that.
Remember all that?
Yeah.
And
so, were there any ramifications there? Did he respond in any way, or did he trust? Probably best to ignore that kind of stuff, right? Did he issue a statement that you know of saying, "Oh, this isn't true," or did he just disappear into the bushes like
She's
Simpson?
Crazy, and it's not true. Don't you remember that? You didn't see that?
That'd be great. At the Super Bowl, he did it.
Yeah, I remember that.
That'd be
She's
great.
lying. Yeah. We didn't have a shmashmortion.
That's like Michael Jackson doing it. But yeah, he is a Jackson fan, so.
That's crazy. They're saying that I got that I got an implant in my to give myself.
Now
one
that
of
would
those
be a story
chins.
if Brittany was like, me and Michael had a kid. That would be it. That's a story. Her and Timberlake, that's obvious.
Yeah. Here's our child.
So it's terrible.
It's not.
Yeah,
terrible.
but go for it.
Anyway,
There's got to be a third. you
third
said.
person.
Yeah, who's the third?
Strat, you think you could figure out who the third person? So Justin,
Memoirs.
no, not Justin. Britney Spears wrote a memoir. Prince Harry wrote a memoir, and another one. She talked about her infidelities.
Okay, can you give me like a small hint?
She talked about her infidelities.
Okay, Madonna.
Oh, that's a good guess.
She talked about how she was not married for the past 7 years.
Is it Will Smith's wife?
I have no idea who that is.
Jada Pinkett?
Jada.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh, Will.
Okay.
You said Will Smith, and I thought Will Ferrell. I was
That's
like, I don't know.
funny. Yeah, no, not even close. Yeah.
Yeah. My wife wrote about how we haven't been married for 7 years.
The meatloaf.
The meatloaf, fuck! That's
Yeah.
why they got divorced. So, anyway, they
So it
wrote
was
books.
Jada.
It was Jada Pinkett.
Oh, nice guess.
Yeah.
It was called Worthy.
So,
It
dude,
wasn't worth.
it's fine. No, if there's something good on that, please continue.
It wasn't worth buying. I'll tell you that much.
There was one last thing I wanted to talk about because we said this is the year of disclosure, the year of the UAP, the year of the UFO hearing, the year
Barbie
of
Oppenheimer.
whistleblower.
No, I'm sure you have something else.
Yeah. So, did you hear recently about the UFOs that were following Air Force One in LA?
No.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
You're fucking
This
lying.
just happened.
This is real, or this is like
100%.
you saw this on like The Onion?
So there's these guys that what they do is they film planes, right? And they're filming Air Force One
Boring.
over LA. But what's cool is a jet is refueling. You know how they can refuel midair? So when they refuel midair, they're going about 330 miles per hour. So while they're filming this, they start to see these spheres appearing over Air Force One in 3 different instances. So one's a balloon, sure. 3, that's a little different. And they're going 330 miles per hour while they're refueling. Some of these things aren't moving at all. Some of them are moving
So it is a balloon.
faster than the plane. Okay. So, the ones that are moving faster than the plane, less likely to be a balloon. I have a clip that shows these UAPs. I want you guys to see this and tell me what you think. So
and then
Please.
we're gonna get to the news right after that.
yeah, perfect.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
My
I
favorite
know.
part
Get
of the show.
excited.
Yeah, me too.
Get excited. So what are we talking here?
So I got you the clip there, and it starts at 4 minutes 35 seconds. This had the best and longest view of this. Like
Dude,
I said,
I love Christian
mainstream
Harloff.
media won't cover these stories. You won't find this on any major freaking news site. It's annoying.
Want to keep seeing this.
There you go. So,
You saw that?
so watch.
I saw it. I watched this whole thing.
That's Air Force One.
We might, that's Air Force One. We might be ahead a little
That's
bit. Go
straight
back.
away. Oh
my
You
goodness.
might have missed the
Yeah,
first
someone's
one.
gonna have to watch
Like I
replays.
said, there's 3 sightings. All right, let's
What's
start.
that
more,
was
the
it.
brothers didn't just
Okay, here we
capture
go.
footage of it once, but 3 times.
Yes, give us a review.
What are you, Christian
Want
Harloff?
to keep seeing this.
Do that. Do that.
You saw
It's
that?
us watching them watching
Did
it.
you see it fly
I watched
by?
this whole thing.
Yeah.
Boy.
So that's the first one.
Yeah. I'm not too sure to what it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to watch replay. and
So
see
that's a
what that
jet up top there. That's not the
Hold on.
UFO.
Going in the
You'll see the
opposite
UFO
direction.
when it flies
yeah,
through.
it's
Yeah.
a jet.
To see the replay
was.
of
Flying
that.
above.
It comes back.
Give us a yes, give us a no. If you want to keep seeing this.
There it goes.
Whoa,
See that?
buddy! Yeah.
So you get a quick flash. of it.
Whoa!
Boom. Look at how fast that thing's going. The opposite direction of Air
few
Force One.
viewers
It
are
looks like an
saying we
orb.
saw a UFO. Look at that docking, Peter. Absolutely incredible. Look at that.
Crazy.
Where are they right now? I wonder what that was flying above, though.
Now they're
And the
going
F-30
330 miles per hour, meaning the first balloon, if it's a balloon, you will not see it again. They're gone. It shows up 2 more times.
You want to?
Yeah, because that's
yeah, me too.
other's we're
Now
just showing
connected
maybe
to the
what could
boom
be
of the KC-10
anything.
extender.
But
Enjoying
3
his work.
times, that makes it something
Right now.
interesting.
We saw something else fly above too. Jeez Louise, Josh was spotting the UFOs, man.
So how cool is this
Someone has to
refueling
watch the replay
midair?
on that
I
one, too.
love
was
that.
gonna
I
say
think
the
that's such a
replay.
cool
Something
technology.
shiny that was
That's
like,
been going on
was
for a
moving
while.
around
I know,
weird.
yeah.
Could have been a bird.
Forever.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see it.
Right now.
It's
So
like
here's UAP
it's
number
like
2.
how insects have sex, right?
Right now.
Oh, you might need full screen.
No?
There you
Go
go.
on.
It showed it.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, that's it. Hold on
That's
a
one
minute.
of the things.
And now they've got it
That's-
stationary and they're zoomed in on
I
it.
see it.
Is
yeah.
that it? Is
Yeah,
that one of the
that's
They don't know
UAPs
what to
that we've
make of
been-
it. They don't know what it
talking
is,
about?
but 3
I'm
times
getting
over
scared
Air
looking at
Force
this.
One.
Hold on a minute, guys. This is one of the
While
UAPs
they're going
that we've
300
been
miles per
looking
hour.
at. Is this it, Josh?
So you can stop it there. So this is a brand new story. This is breaking news.
Go and do this with.
Breaking
JB,
news.
what joke are you talking about? She was laughing at something I said. JB, welcome to the chat, by the way.
Yeah, welcome to the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. So here's my question: what do you think about that? Do you think that if there is non-human intelligence, like our Senate and House have been saying all year long that there is, do you think they'd be interested in somebody like the President of the United States when he's flying around? Do you think they'd be monitoring somebody like him, a world leader?
You know, yes, I do. Here's what gives me a little bit of pause about these things is like I feel like we have so much, quote unquote evidence. I'm not going to say it's not evidence. If the Pentagon's coming out and saying these are real, then these are real.
Right.
I believe it.
You know what gives me pause?
But
a full moon.
Nice. That was pretty good. No more jokes.
That was a good. I like the puns.
But at the same time, it's like, why are they just flying around looking mysterious and not doing anything? Why haven't they come and said what's up? Why do they feel the need to look at the president while he's on a some sort of spaceship?
That makes me feel like we're not in contact.
Like, why don't they come to one of his speeches that is outdoors and like just float above it?
So
you know what I mean?
Let's think about this. So we have an intelligence that is far beyond our own, right? They have the ability to do things we can't.
Right.
So if you were to equate it to how we monitor something like apes or insects, right? Yeah. So or wolf packs, we hide so that they don't know we're there, and we view them from far distances. We try and cloak ourselves to watch them in their natural environment, see how they actually act, right? In between with each other, what their hierarchies are, what their habits are. So if you were an intelligence way beyond, and you don't speak wolf, right? You walk up to the wolf and try to introduce yourself. So what would be the best way to learn the most about a species that you are not part of, and you are so technologically more advanced than, if not to kind of at a distance with technology they don't have, watch?
Well, I feel like if you're that technologically advanced, then why do you need to float around Air Force One? You can get everything you need on the internet. You can process that information. And why are you doing this during the day? Why are you so dog shit at hiding yourself if you're trying to be that hidden observer? This is what I don't understand. Like I've always been, I very much believe that there are aliens, that there are intelligent species out there, but I just don't understand what is their fascination with us and why do they do it the way that they do it? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think we are fascinating. I think that
we are.
A species that has spawned from monkeys now has nuclear weapons and can split the atom. I think, and we know that sightings ramped up like crazy once we dropped that first nuke. Yeah. All of a sudden, we're getting UFO reports all over the world. So I think there is something interesting about us.
You know what else is interesting, dude?
Yeah, go ahead.
The news.
Oh yeah, let's get to the news. Good discussion. There's a lot to the UFO topic, man. Yeah.
Man on the ground. Are you there, sir? Are you there, sir? Man on the ground.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you beautifully. How are you doing, sir?
We missed you.
Doing great. Yeah, I've been traveling, been out of pocket for a bit, but I'm glad to be here.
As a newsman does.
2023. Here for your 2023 retro show.
Let's do it. So, speaking of 2023 retro, what you got for us? You already set it up.
Well, first, I have a little video, and unusual for me, but I wanted to do a little 1956 prediction video that I shared with you.
Cool.
And if you could show that, then I'd like to talk about some new predictions.
All right, let's show that to the audience right now.
Uh-oh.
Don't be afraid, everybody. Don't be afraid.
I'm already afraid with that title.
Right?
Yeah, that title is scary.
When you think of the future, you likely envision the remarkable technologies that you've seen in comic books and films.
Is that bananas?
You may begin to picture flying cars, trains driven by electromagnets, or household robots that will see to your every need. While modern scientists agree that many of these inventions are either unlikely or unnecessary, it may surprise you to learn what the future could actually hold.
Okay.
Imagine being able to share your thoughts with millions of people at once.
Cool.
Simply by typing them on a keyboard and sending them through the air.
Predicting the future much?
When all of the many fixtures of an office, including a typewriter and an entire Rolodex, can fit within a device smaller than a loaf of bread.
More like
Consider
smaller
the
than your
vacation
hand.
Plans you could make when a single trip on an aeroplane is all that's needed to visit.
Robot
anywhere
aeroplane.
on Earth.
How cool.
Yes, the future certainly looks bright, but it isn't without its darker side. According to some predictions, obesity will likely run rampant, and political corruption will become so commonplace as to be accepted.
Wow.
People with nothing entertaining or informative to say will broadcast their
We'll
demands
start
for
something
attention.
called the podcast that never
Puppet
sleeps.
performers will become pushers of snake oil.
Performers will
Perhaps
become pushers
worst
of
of all
snake
will
oil.
be the emergence of a deadly and potentially devastating disease.
COVID!
Think of the last time that you contracted influenza.
Holy
You were
shizer.
bedridden for days, having no appetite or desire to play games.
Or even
Experts
taste
predict
things.
that by the year 2020, a new virus will rise, spreading from somewhere in Asia to the rest of the world.
What?
And with
Insane!
internet and travel being available to even the most common citizen, a sickness which would have been contained in years past
So
will
true.
quickly spread to all corners of the globe.
That's beautiful, man.
Wow.
So that
Nuts.
was Nostradamus in 56?
1956.
That was kind of wild that they got the year right.
Crazy.
They got the year.
2020.
I don't give a lot of credence to the people that predict
from
global
China?
pandemic
Yeah.
over 70
Sure,
years.
sure.
But 2020 is a little
Dude, that's
freaky.
on the. That's right on.
Freaky.
Less.
Pretty
Yeah.
crazy,
They
right?
That's
nailed it all.
wild.
Every single prediction.
So when did that video? When was that made?
1956.
Wow.
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I know a certain person born in that year.
Yeah, the year of our Lord, 1956.
Yeah.
67 wonderful years ago. But yeah, I
Amazing.
thought that was interesting.
Super
And
interesting.
Moving on to maybe some future predictions, and since you have an environmental attorney there, some of these are right in his wheelhouse.
Let's
Well,
go.
All right. So here's some predictions. I'm not going too far in the future, but some predictions to happen by 2025. First, is saying that carbon footprints will be viewed as socially unacceptable, like drunk driving.
I can see that.
Oh, totally right.
Yeah, I can
And
totally
the
see
creation of a sustainable net zero future will build energy transformation that reduces the world's carbon emissions.
Ooh.
In line with that, there will be some gigaton level CO2 removal industries that are developing that are going to pull all the
So cool.
carbon emissions out of the air and ultimately, hopefully, prevent global warming.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
In a safe way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Another 2025 prediction, quantum computing will be able to finally come to fruition and tackle real-world problems.
Yeah, that's scary.
Major application is complex chemical reaction that creates new avenues of drug development.
Yeah, and
to
energy
cure all
production.
kinds of issues.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then moving on to the healthcare area, healthcare systems. Interesting prediction is that it's going to move towards a plant-rich, nutrient-dense diet.
Good.
This is the opposite of the Nixon years of the, when we got loaded with sugar and salt and
Right.
fat and created.
I'm just glad
obesity.
it's not bugs, because I'm worried about this
Yeah,
whole
seriously.
bug thing.
Have
people
you
are
guys
on.
seen the movie fucking Snowpiercer?
That's what I'm scared of. Is
Okay.
Snowpiercer.
Or Soylent Green is people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Eat your bars, eat your nutrition bars. It's all bugs. It's so gross.
I just realized Snowpiercer is like Soylent Green. It's like the whole. They just copied the premise.
It really is.
They really did. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Chris Evans.
And the expectation of this is that the global food industry is going to respond by offering a broad range of options to support optimal health outcomes. Healthy food options. What do you think?
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Wow.
Couple more predictions. So with 5G networks finally in place, tied directly into autonomous robots, goods can be delivered safely within hours. We've seen some of this with Amazon. And the rollout of 5G will enable things like self-driving bots.
And the end of the world!
Service economy. The whole idea of Lyft, I think, their whole business model was that one day nobody will own a car.
Yeah,
You'll
that
just
is the business
schedule
model.
the autonomous vehicle to pick you up, take you to work, take you to the store, right? Pretty cool.
Felicity
And
in
who
the
knows what
chat
else will
says,
come out of
"Go
it.
vegetarian."
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about that. Do you like the idea of not owning a car? Do you like the idea of just having vehicles at your beck and call when you need them? No need to have your own. I know some people are staunchly against this. Yeah. But the convenience is there, and if they make
Rolling
it
down my window,
it could be
turning up the
less
music
than a car payment. But let us know what you think.
Driving in the car with a hot girl, nothing on but them tunes, baby.
I think for me
Well, now you
the
can be in
hardest.
the back seat. So
yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows.
No, the hardest thing
Play
for
your
me.
tunes.
The hardest thing for me to give up would be road trips, right? Solo road trips or road trips with a couple buddies.
That's so nice.
Hopefully, in that dystopian future we're talking about, we have the ability to at least rent a car for those kind of things, right? That would be a tough one for me to give up.
Yeah, we don't want to eliminate ownership.
$1.6 million. Oh, to rent the car? Yeah, you guys want to pitch in? You don't want to pitch in?
Perfect.
Yeah.
I just paid $40,000 for a 6-pack. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I just paid $1 million for a bullet to kill this guy. Chris Rock reference. All right. So wild.
My final predictions for 2025, which is pretty soon.
The end of the world.
AI technology built to connect people will blur the lines between physical space and virtual.
Crazy.
We'll start to be able to go to global events like South by Southwest virtually.
Cool. Yeah.
Not see, that'd be dope.
Streaming, 100%. But a fully digitized alternative.
Hey, what's that? That Bruce Willis movie where it's Surrogate,
Looper.
right? No, Surrogate. Right? Where you're able to kind of plug in and then
Fifth Element,
and then act on a robotic version of yourself where you feel the same sensations.
Can't get hurt.
Yeah. Gamer, whatever did that. What about this Howie
what's
Mandel?
that horrible movie that you're talking about?
Gamer, I think it's called.
Oh no, that's fine. What's the horrible one that you liked? Was Steven Spielberg directed? I'm wearing the suit, so I'm fucking in this stupid movie.
I don't know.
What's it called?
I don't know what movie.
Ready Player One. You're welcome.
Oh, I love Ready Player One.
Christ.
What about the Howie Mandel technology, where you just put that box in a room and
then you stay in it and you don't touch anyone or anything?
No, it's just live, and it's your hologram in the box, and it looks like you're there in the room, and you do it from home, from wherever you are. It looks like you're there.
Les got my joke.
It's very cool. Yeah, because he's a OCD. Yeah, but it's very cool. It's cool technology, holographic technology. So you could be at a meeting. It looks just like straight out of Winter Soldier, where the whole panel is talking to each other, but none of them are in the room.
Yeah,
it's very cool. I love holographic
I gotta say,
technology.
as much as I love that stuff, I think there's always going to be a place for what they call olfactory. You got to smell people. There's something about being able to eventually touch and feel.
Sure.
But I do most of my work remotely, and it's just video. It's words and faces, but real connections take some intimacy.
That's why I'm worried about our future, man. Because these kids, imagine the kids that grew up going to school on Zoom.
With
no
masks
interpersonal connections.
Yeah, everything in public. Yeah,
that's
interesting. Les, I do want to speak on one of your points there, talking about the removal of carbon emissions. There are already companies and technologies working towards that.
Yeah.
What would you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've heard of a few of those.
Nothing that's obviously, if it was efficient on a mass scale, then
they could implement tomorrow.
More people would have heard about it, but those technologies are being worked on, and there are some successes.
So your prediction might come true.
I hope so.
That was like a Scientific American prediction that when they're saying in the coming 2 years, they see that getting up to gigaton technology where they can actually remove large quantities.
That'd be just so great.
I love gigaton technology.
Yeah.
I love gigawatts. 1.21 specifically.
If it ain't giga, I don't give a... Anyway, whatever.
I don't give a what you have to say.
So, I think that's a good one.
Les.
All right. Well, listen. My
what we're ready for.
Let me do my bit. Let me just end with some jokes because I do have some prediction jokes.
Okay. Prediction jokes.
Okay. First, terrible joke. I do have this incredible ability to predict what's inside a wrapped present. It's a gift.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
The ability is a gift.
Brilliant.
And to our guy Strath there, I can successfully predict the winners of every divorce case. Here's the list. The lawyers.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good lawyer.
Not everyone.
Okay. Just a couple more. So, by the way, my uncle's death was predicted. He was told the exact day, the exact time he would die. And it happened just as predicted. Exactly as the judge told him.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Well done. Yeah. Well done.
Good prediction jokes.
All right. And this my favorite, but I don't know. You'll appreciate it. So unfortunately, the creator of predictive text died today.
Aw.
His funfair is next monkey.
That's really good.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you for that.
As always.
Nice work, Les.
I missed you for the last few weeks. I'll be back again soon. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Such a pleasure. Thank you, sir. Man on the ground. Man on the ground. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Take care, sir. Take care. Man on the ground. Man on the ground. Take care.
So yeah, speaking of these types of technologies, within the last 12 months, did you hear about the breakthrough in fusion that we had?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, very kind of, overview.
So
Stratton, just real quick.
Go for it.
Do we want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about Kylie Jenner dating Timothy Chalamet?
I think we can do both. This is just because we were just talking about it.
They're pretty related. I think
they're
it might have been Kylie that made the breakthrough.
This is what I heard. Yeah. Okay.
So a Department of Energy funded project. These are the guys that work on our nuclear weapons and like the payloads. They were firing a bunch of lasers at atoms and heating them to a certain degree. And they realized that they could create fusion that would generate more energy out than they're putting in. That's an amazing breakthrough. Yeah. Like certain laws of physics say that that's not even possible.
So do you guys remember that old movie The Saint with
Val Kilmer?
Yeah, Val Kilmer. That was the big premise,
Cold
right?
Fusion,
It's been this kind of this specter, this ghost that people and scientists have been chasing.
A myth, dude.
He was
Sorry,
Val
Jared, to cut
Kilmer.
you off.
No. Val Kilmer.
No,
It's like he looks like Val Kilmer, and then you see him, and he turns around, and he's wearing glasses.
I was named after a saint.
And you're like, what? And then
really good
next he has a fake mustache. Like,
yeah.
Where'd Val go?
And then he's got long hair like in Heat, right?
And then with fake teeth. I'm a different human being entirely now.
I was just drawing a picture of you, and you can't tell who I am because
Master of disguise.
I've got the long hair now.
Yeah, and then
trigger the wine, and this is how I disguise myself.
Dude, and then when he goes up, he's trying to infiltrate that group of men, right? And he's like, "Am I not turtly enough for the turtle club?" You don't remember that
fusion
scene?
scientist, and she in 2 seconds figured out, let's just look for people named after saints, and we'll find him in 2 seconds.
Who was? Who played that?
The best
Elizabeth Fusion. That's right.
But the idea that
I'll be here all week.
That fusion is possible, and that there was a breakthrough made in it. That is such a.
I thought,
and it's a DOE funded program. So here's the question:
knew that was
no? This is recent. This is a recent discovery within the last 12 months. My question is, because it's a DOE funded program, not a privately funded program. Do we believe that this will be pushed through as fast as possible to replace the oil industry?
No.
Or they're going to drag their feet on something like this?
No, because in my opinion, I feel like
I can speak on this. Please.
When it comes to these government agencies, especially mass, when it comes to energy and when it comes to these mass sort of appropriations of different types of energy, right? I mean, you saw how slow the government has been to even take up solar.
Yeah.
Right? They want to make sure it's efficient. And when you talk about anything involving the word nuclear.
Yeah.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa.
No, you want to make sure it's safe, right? You want to make sure it's repeatable on a mass scale. And you want to make sure that this is something that'll be safe because the alternative is absolutely devastating when you're talking about nuclear, right?
Yeah.
It could be terrible. So what I actually think and I hope, and this might be the optimist in me, is that they'll share this research with private industry.
That'd be the
and
best.
allow people to actually invest money in this, but also creating some sort of caveat that you can't have a patent or monopoly on the process.
That's cute.
That's
cute.
The fact that the government, it's always government funding and government research in weapons development that leads to these major breakthroughs that help in the long run, that these offshoot programs that come from creating weapons. This one specifically would change. It would get rid of the oil industry entirely. There are zero emissions for something like this. It is the future. This is, if you want a craft that can go take you to another planet, this is the energy source. If you want to run cities on zero emissions and put less energy in and get more energy out, the idea of it is just so mind-blowing, and the applications are limitless. So I had to bring this up. We have an environmental lawyer here. This is something I figured he'd appreciate.
AKA the Big Bang, Deb said.
Yeah, I have to say this is outside of my wheelhouse. So everything I'm saying on this has nothing to do with my own personal experience.
I know. But, anyway,
or professional experience. But at the same time, I think it's very exciting, and I hope
it is exciting.
And we're in a different world now. I don't know if you remember when electric vehicles came out in the 90s and early 2000s. I think it was Michael Moore, who did Bowling for Columbine. He did a lot of these
Fahrenheit
documentaries. 9/11, he did this movie, or somebody did, if it wasn't Michael Moore. It was called the Death of the Electric Vehicle, right? It was when electric vehicles were first brought out into the mass market.
Yeah.
And they were killed. They were regulatorily killed.
Yeah.
Like, lobbyists got intervention.
Dude, the oil industry is too big.
But we're in a different world now, right? Where people actually care about the stuff. And if people see that this is possible, they're seeing the headlines, they're not going to just let it float away and become this sort of ghost or specter of an idea that once was.
Have you seen the videos of the electrical vehicles from like 1910, 1915? Have you seen those?
No, I'm going to let you finish your thoughts because I have a funny story.
Those exist.
I'm going to let you finish.
We had the electric
Beyonce
vehicle,
had one of the greatest videos of the year.
We had electrical vehicles over 100 years ago that worked extremely well and that could take you all around the city and automatically plug right into a charger. They had this type of tech. This is during the time of Tesla. There were other inventors making stuff like this. This was the dawn of the electricity, world that we live in now today.
Yeah,
electrical vehicles existed back then. So there's always been this way.
Before we get into another nerdy topic,
no, go for it. That's the end of that. I just wanted to bring up fusion.
There was one anecdote I wanted to add, if I could, before we move on. Cameron, okay.
Please.
So
what? No, I'm kidding.
So my mom, who you guys know, her father was, my mom grew up in South Africa. And and it was Greek South African family. Okay. And he had no more than a third grade education. So when he was an adult, what he decided he had this very innovative mind, and he decided one day I'm going to make an electric vehicle. So what he did is he took this old van, and I might be butchering the details, and I might be scolded by my family later on, but my understanding is that he took this old van, he removed the engine. What he did is he created a battery, and this was all with a third grade education. He created a battery.
I love this.
He created a sort of a cupped windmill, a series of windmills on the top, and at an increasing height, so that they could each catch the wind at different heights,
right?
And they would spin and they would recharge the battery.
That's awesome.
And that this vehicle actually, and this was in like the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
He created this thing, and it worked.
Yeah.
My dad is an engineer. He remembers that. And
so take that.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Crazy. And extrapolate. Imagine somebody with more than a third grade education. Imagine what they've come up with.
All it takes is innovation.
Shit. So that's a personal anecdote. Imagine shit that we don't know because Bill up the road, his fucking grandpa had a fusion vehicle, whatever, right? Some genius shit that they buried.
Yeah, this was a third grade educated, Greek villager, right? That had no business knowing anything about engineering or how to put something like this together.
There was that guy in Florida built a car that ran on water. He poured water in the engine and he could drive across the state on a jug of water.
Converting water to hydrogen energy. And
he ended up dead, poisoned at dinner.
Oh wow! Surprise!
How did that happen? There's too many stories like that.
but it's crazy. I mean, you hear these stories and I would not believe it unless I knew somebody personally that saw it, somebody that I trusted.
It's possible,
and it's insane.
We know it's.
You know what else is insane?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost gave you a spit take right there.
Yeah, I almost ruined your microphone right here.
Right. So it's the year of the Nepo babies. Did you know that?
And what's that?
Oh, I know about UAPs and UFOs and FOBs and WQs, but you don't know about a Nepo baby?
Sounded just like you.
NEPO?
I know, I do the best impression of it.
That was pretty much me.
Oh, my APO and EPA? Oh, that's you.
EPA.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
That's the other one. That's the other one of these nerds over here. Anyway, let's do a single on me. We don't want these fucking nerds. So, the year of the Nepo baby.
Okay.
So, what's a Nepo baby? Nepotism. What's nepotism?
That's what I assume.
Lawyer, go for it.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
Yep.
Favorability based on family connection.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the third grade educated man. Please speak on it, brother.
Yeah, favorability based on family connection.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
So, who can you think of that's a Nepo baby? What's Cameron talking about? You're saying what's he even?
This is the year of the Nepo baby. Nepo babies
I was trying to break you, and you didn't break
are in
for
charge,
too long.
or are being born, or what do you mean? What does it mean that this is the year of it?
Yeah.
Expand.
Okay, I'm done trying to break.
Yeah.
Okay, so technically, New York Magazine's article about the year of the Nepo baby, I'm not reading, was released in 2022. But the subject has continued to be a topic of conversation this year. Multiple celebrities have commented on the Nepo baby debate. It's a debate, guys, in Hollywood. Real stuff's going on.
Because it's their kids being talked about?
You should know that. It's the state you're in. You should know everything going on in your state. So with some embracing the label and others taking offense.
Okay.
Ethan Hawke, who I think is the shit.
Son of Ethan Hawke, who got him his career.
Father to Maya Hawke, who I think is fantastic.
Right there. And they own several Hawks, and those guys get whatever they want.
Well, they deserve whatever they want.
Yeah, they're just a great animal.
So a hawk was found and captured, and now it is running for president.
Okay.
No, anyway. So Ethan Hawke, who shares daughter? He's sick fuck. No, who shares daughter Maya Hawke with ex-wife Uma Thurman.
What
he
movie?
was
with Uma Thurman?
Yeah. Stratton, what movie did they meet on? Stratton, what movie did they meet on?
The futuristic. Fucking.
Is Jared gonna get it before you?
I have no idea.
You do because you've seen the movie a bunch.
Give me the first letter.
Ethan
Give me the
Hawke.
first letter.
Yeah, the second one I thought maybe.
Gattaca.
That'll give it away. Yeah, damn it! I mean, not damn it. Good.
Great
there it is.
movie. I
that's
love
a great
that
movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's not some movie you've never seen like Blade Runner.
Jude
It's
Law
a fucking great
killing
movie.
it, man.
You've never seen Blade Runner?
Of course
No,
I
he
have.
hasn't.
I was talking about the second one. Possibly, maybe they were in it. I don't know.
No. Yeah, Gattaca was fine.
All right,
Yeah.
what's Harrison Ford's character's name in Blade Runner?
I actually don't remember at the top. Off the top of my
Detective
head.
Burns.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Was his name Blade Runner?
His last name was Runner.
No,
yeah.
his name was K. Wasn't it
No,
a letter?
it wasn't a Blade Runner. Somebody
was a
who
letter.
wants the
K.
the robot.
Oh no, Ryan Gosling was K. Who?
Yeah.
What was?
Will Smith's J.
I can't remember, man.
Moving on. Will Smith was J. And Tommy Lee Jones was K.
Yeah, he was also K. That's
Yeah.
right.
So the Nepo babies. Anyway, Ethan Hawke, who shares the daughter with the daughter Maya Hawke with Uma Thurman.
Okay.
And they met on the set of
Gattaca.
There they go. That's as far as I can get to.
That's it?
Shared his thoughts during an appearance on Today, December 6th. He says, quote, "I feel sorry for this generation that this word has somehow turned into being something when it's the history of mankind. Anyway, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Her son, Jack Quaid, I don't know what's
So
happening
is
here.
it trying to say that a
Whom
bunch
she
of...
shares an ex-husband, Dennis Quaid, Meg Ryan, being referred to as Nepo Baby, and she addressed it saying in Glamour magazine, Jack Quaid from The Boys.
Okay.
And he's also fucking Scream, Jared, Scream.
Yeah. I remember the killer. Yeah.
No, I want you to scream.
Yeah.
Thank you. She says, Jack is really talented. He's more of a natural than I'll ever be,
Okay.
she said. That Nepo stuff is so dismissive of his work ethic, his gifts,
Right.
and how sensitive he is to the idea of his privilege.
So they're trying to say that
She
famous
made it
people's
worse.
kids
She made it
are
worse.
only getting famous because their parents are famous?
1,000,000%.
Yeah, but is that... Do you believe that?
In some cases, yeah.
I think they have...
I think they get their
merit.
foot in the door because
Ice Cube's son?
Don Johnson's like, hey, I'm Don Johnson,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like, oh, Dakota, right through here, you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. A lot of them are doing pretty good.
I think a lot of them are really good. But then you look at a guy like,
But they're getting chances. Most people probably
yes,
aren't.
That's true. They are getting chances. But you look at people like Maya Hawke. You look at Denzel's John David Washington.
Ice Cube.
He's okay.
I think.
But you look at a guy like Chet Hanks. You know, who gets a lot of, I mean, not a lot of airtime, but he gets the fact that he gets any airtime. But Colin Hanks,
Colin's a great.
He's great.
I like
he was in one of my all-time favorite shows as a kid, Roswell, going back to the alien thing. But like Chet Hanks nobody would know his name if it wasn't for him being Tom Hanks' kid.
Do you think any of
and
these...
that's for the best. Though.
Are any of these kids getting more airtime than they deserve? Like, are they getting blockbuster films and not performing? A lot of them are living up to it.
Yeah.
Does Chet Hanks get blockbuster films?
No, he doesn't.
Exactly.
He's a rapper.
He was in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
There you go. I think,
but he wasn't bad.
I think the cream
he really wasn't.
The
He
cream
wasn't
rises
bad.
to the
Crazy.
top. Is what I'm saying.
No, sure. So
I don't know if I subscribe to
There's
this.
two mice, and they're in cream.
Yeah.
Go on.
I know you know this. And one of them, he fights and he tries to get out of the cream,
He's
but he
hiding a
can't.
watch.
And he says, yeah. Thankfully, I have this watch of my ass. No. So and then he dies, and then the other mouse.
It's so stupid.
It's still going.
I know.
It's still going.
And then the other mouse.
Yeah.
He keeps going with his little feet. He doesn't stop.
He's churning the butter.
And he churns, believe it or not, the butter.
And he
the cream into butter. He has a stutter.
That's enough.
He has a stutter.
Oh my god.
No, you gotta wait for the
I
the
can't
Chris
wait.
Walken thing.
I'm really excited. I gotta wait for the Chris Walken thing.
That I didn't just listen to for 2 minutes. No, because he does the guys. I do this, and then I do that.
Does he have a son that's famous?
No, I just
So
want
then
to do the
why is he a part of this conversation?
Walking around.
I can't do an impression of fucking Dennis
You
Quaid,
can,
Jared.
it
Sorry.
No, you know what? One thing I think should be added to the conversation too is
Yeah.
like when you do have an artistic,
Does
parent
Ice-T have
or
a son?
something, right? You have someone that's talented. Obviously, there is some. I'm sure you get some genetic.
You get
portion
some of that juice.
but also like
Of course.
you are already set up way better. Not just
Predisposition.
not just for nepotism's sake, but like. You get the training. You see that. You
I
grow
grow
up with
up
that.
around
Also,
artists.
you get people
I grew
brought
up
into
with
the room that can help you
I
become.
grew up with Uncle Joe Pesci. Yeah. Fucking Chris Walken.
Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Kate
Jude
Kate
Law.
Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
So Kate Hudson, she spent a lot of her time when she was younger around
Jude Law.
around bands and around famous actors, and her parents were both famous actors. And she was given, and she even changed her name so she wasn't linked to her parents.
I hate that fucking.
It was Kurt Russell, right? Was her dad?
Kurt Russell's her
Uh-huh.
dad, and she changed her
Stuntman
name
Mike.
so that she could do it on merit. And she gave one of the best performances ever in her breakout role in one of the greatest movies of all time.
Period.
Exactly.
Almost Famous.
Almost
Almost Famous.
Hell yeah.
And
Greatest movie
I
ever.
had no idea who her parents were.
What did Felicity say?
So I think the cream rises
She
to the
probably
top.
loves Almost Famous.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Stratton, do us the honors. What did Felicity say in the comments right here, Bubba?
She
There
said,
you go. There you go.
"It makes sense for children of great performers to be great performers."
That's what you were saying.
Agreed.
That's what
I
you were
almost feel like
saying.
it's harder when you have such a great name attached.
That's true. Like Bob Dylan, Jacob Dylan. Dude, Jacob Dylan is such a freaking talent. And
He
sings-
sounds just like his dad,
Well, he
though.
sings so much better than his father.
With
He's
the
got such a better voice.
headlight.
No one will ever match
Ready?
Bob Dylan's songwriting or
Right.
poetry
His-
ever, but
his
Jacob
songwriting.
Dylan is fantastic. The
He's great.
Wallflowers were an underrated
I
band.
know.
Oh, for sure.
And
No,
he
no, no.
gave up. He just walked away.
But no one
What a
will
prick.
ever match fucking Bob Dylan's writing, period.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no,
the
it's-
man.
it's-
But
Poet.
what's his name does sound very much like him. With the one.
Try
headlight.
imagining the place where-
You ready for my Bob Dylan? Yeah, you ready for my Bob Dylan? Yeah. Times they are changing. Yeah, that's my Bob
That
Dylan.
is unbelievable.
Ready
That's
for my
Good,
Jacob
man.
Dylan?
That's almost
Yeah.
as good as Chris Walken.
Times they are changing.
I knew it would
Oh,
sound
Jacob
exactly
Dylan's
the
so much
It's
better
not-
singer.
Times they are changing.
Oh, dude,
That
his
was more
remake
JD.
of that, what was that song? For Godzilla. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
of course.
not-
The,
We could be heroes.
He
Just
remade
for one
Heroes,
day.
and
Oh,
it's better than the original.
Heroes was Bowie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bowie song.
Yeah.
We
Great
can
song.
be
remade
heroes.
it. Wallflowers
He remade
did.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so good.
I don't think I've ever heard that actually.
Dude, it's the
You have.
best
Bob
cover.
Dylan did Heroes?
No,
No,
Jacob
Jacob.
Dylan.
Jake-
The Wallflowers.
did he
did
really?
Heroes.
I didn't see Godzilla, so there's a chance
okay.
that I have not heard
Dude,
it.
please
This is
go look it up.
1999 Godzilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So you grew up with
All
this.
right, well, I was 10 years old, so
Yeah, exactly.
there's a chance I heard it.
Go
and don't
look
remember.
up the cover
But-
of Heroes by
and,
Wallflowers.
and the
We'll do
movie isn't just in the year it came out, or the song it doesn't just stay in the year it came out. You can hear it after that. So you might have heard
They
it.
say
Well,
that.
that's fantastic.
years. Yeah, it's good.
But remember when soundtracks
You're
were
like,
like a
thank
big
God,
deal?
dude. There's so much shit I wanted to.
So I did say
What was,
earlier.
hold on, no, we can't move
Oh, go
that.
ahead.
What was the tongue thing? What was that?
I was gonna say something, and then I just
Oh, you
accentuated
bit
with
your
my-
tongue.
I was like,
You were acting out a thing that isn't normally acted out.
So
Jared, what were you
earlier I said Captain America, the real Captain America,
Is an
earthworm. You are the biggest Captain America fan, so that's why I wanted to do this story. So this year they had this ice that was 45,000 years old. 45,000 years old.
And there was a
And there were worms in it. They defrosted these worms, and they
One
were
had a
alive.
shield. Oh.
They had lived frozen for 45,000 years. When they fell asleep,
45,000 years.
45,000. When they went into the ice, the world had woolly mammoths walking around, huge megafauna. When they were thawed, There's now Neanderthals had become these human beings that fly in planes and have cell phones and run the world. Everything is different. It is a total Captain America. But worms, they still don't know to this day how they survived 45,000 years frozen.
Like this.
Yeah, there you go. That's how they did it.
With arms.
But what the? Think about that.
I knew you were going to say something about the fucking arms.
So here's my question.
And it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm going to pose this question. So if you are made to be frozen, they say you don't have a choice, we're going to freeze you.
Yeah.
How long would you want to be frozen for? When would you want to come out of the ice? How long?
Well, we got to know a few details, right?
Okay.
Why am I being frozen?
So the government comes to you and they say, hey, we're doing an experiment.
Like 10 minutes.
We pulled your name out of a hat.
Oh.
You're the one being frozen.
I could wake up in like 2099.
I'll tell you.
You can pick your date.
I have an answer right now.
Yeah,
500 years.
500?
500 years.
Tell me why you picked
For 500 years.
I feel like any more in the future, I run the risk of being in a world that
of waking up in nowhere,
absolutely destroyed,
of never waking up because your facility's
there's nothing
destroyed.
left. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would prefer to never be frozen.
So you think
I'd
there's
say 10 years.
we have a 500 year limit on our species?
No, I'm saying it's a possibility. Though.
Yeah,
and I'm not willing to risk it, which is
I
why
think
I
we
would
have less.
not want to be frozen in the first place.
Yeah, of course. I'm saying
You
that's
have to be
why
frozen,
I'm
no?
forcing you. That's why
but if I
I'm
have to be
forcing
frozen,
you.
it's 500 years.
Okay, 500.
Because I feel like I'm going to see something different. Also.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
what I mean?
I would love to see the future.
It's not Austin
500
Powers
years
where I'm
from
just
now.
going, 20 years in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably that would be worse.
I would say
20 years.
My answer is just like 30 years in the future. Just because so I could be my young, handsome, awesome self right now.
Yep.
Just a little
sexy.
bit
in the future. So
Just
you think 30 years from now the world's going to be a much better place for you?
I think I think it will. I think it'll be. I could play video games where and that's not all I care about.
That was the first thing you said.
Draw. I mean, there's going to be full 3D player.
No, I think women will have equal rights in every way, and that's why I want to be frozen for 20. I'm not going to make something up. I'm going to be honest.
No, that's what I want.
I do
made it worse.
I do want equal rights for everybody. So that's why.
I mean, you didn't need to go there. We believe you.
So but I want to play video games, and they're cool.
But be young and do it.
Yeah,
you'll be alive.
Or dude, check it out. Yeah, but I'll be like decrepit,
Decrepitous.
But dude, check this out.
I don't know.
What if I wake up to a zombie? I pull a Rick Grimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that could happen. I would love to wake up in a.
So
point
I wake
where,
up to this.
How long do you think it'll be until they?
And then
solve
I'll do
death
this
–
scientifically?
I think it'll be 500 years at the minimum. But I'm actually also curious at your answer.
So I would go for as long as I think it would take for us to solve aging. And I think it'll happen within our lifetime.
I just had a deja vu. Is that super weird?
Yes, because this is an interesting, unique conversation
this
situation.
has never happened before.
But yeah, so I think I would go out maybe 100 years.
That's a lot.
I think 100-year advancement in science, we would have solved disease, aging, cancer. And
what if it's just WALL-E? You just wake up to a WALL-E world. Everybody else is up there.
There's always that risk.
Yeah.
If you go further out than like 50 years, you're risking waking up to a place you don't recognize.
Here's one thought about that off the cuff is that you think about different medical advancements, right? We hear a lot of stuff in the news now. Oh, they've CRISPR, right? They've learned gene editing. Oh, they can get rid of this or that or the other, the thing that causes cell destruction. As you get older.
Yeah.
Back in the day, when you talk about decades ago, maybe 100 years ago at this point, when the invention of antibiotics, and they thought, okay, this was going to change the game. This was going to make us live forever.
Right.
And I wasn't there. I can't speak for certainty, but this was something that had never been done before and was vastly extending people's lives. Right now, what we're going through might be something as I'm not going to say that's a blip because that is such a massive advancement, but it didn't get us a ton closer to immortality, right? So you run the risk of you wake up in 100 years and you can't go back to sleep. They're not even that much closer to.
You don't think 100 years is enough?
I don't think so. No,
dude. With the way technology and AI is moving, I think that we're on a road.
I sure hope so.
So I think we're going to get there very quickly. I think it's going to be in our lifetime. I think we're gonna find some advancements that we would only believe science fiction could come up with.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
could you imagine if you went in the ice, right, and then 50 years in the future, and you got hit with something as soon as you woke up? Because 2023 has been the year of people getting hit with stuff.
Yeah.
There
we go. Tell me.
So, multiple celebrities this year made headlines after various objects were thrown at their faces during concerts and other events.
How annoying are you if you do that to someone?
Can I be honest, Jared?
Yeah, tell me.
This is a Cameron hot take because I'm heated.
Do it. Tell us.
Will Smith is the fucking reason all this is happening. I swear by the gods.
Yeah, back to Smith. You don't like him. You don't like what he did. Nobody does. It was disgusting.
He opened the door for people to fucking go up on stage and throw shit or hit people.
But people are always throwing stuff.
No.
Yeah, what about George Bush?
There was never a single thing
shoe?
thrown except for two shoes.
Shoe.
In the history of the world, there's only 2 shoes thrown on one day.
People used to throw vegetables at people like giving performances since the beginning of time.
Yeah, you never seen Monty Python?
Oh, shit. That's right.
Yeah, historically accurate.
I mean, it's not historically accurate, but because they filmed them doing it for the movie, then it became real.
Great sense of humor in the medieval times, I have to say.
I know. And yeah, not a lot of blood.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. The Black Knight got his arm cut off. So
That's a good scene.
It's so funny. My bad. I'm playing. Oh, Given Life. Are you watching our podcast while doing something else for the first time ever, or do you do that every single time? That's your thing. We joke about it all the time when we're,
Yeah, JB saying best movie ever, Almost Famous. Yeah, it's right up there, dude.
It's true.
It's like
it's so
crap.
good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So check this out, dude. Pink, Kelsey Ballerini.
Yeah, poor
that
Kelsey.
Old chestnut.
That's not a real name.
Yeah,
no, that's not.
You guys don't know Kelsey Ballerini? Come on.
She's probably a fucking.
She's
country
super famous
artist.
country artist. Yeah,
I knew that's why. That's why we don't know it because we're grown ups.
Pop. She hit the pop charts for the last few years.
Anyway,
she's a huge name. There's no way
Drake. That's a huge name.
Yep.
Harry
Drake's
Styles.
a huge name.
That's a huge name. By the way, Harry Styles, dude, it was the dopest shit. So
Kelsey did the fucking Super Bowl recently, I think. But go ahead.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
He did he?
I'm pretending it's a guy. Like I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I get
anyway,
it.
So, dude, Harry Styles, someone throws something at him, bro.
Yeah.
It's like a hair clip, right?
That's so weird.
Guess what he does? Does he get
put
hit
it
in
on?
the face? Does he? Oh, ouch!
He put his hair back with it and sang.
No, he fucking kicks it up with like backwards. You know when you do this,
Like a hacky sack move.
yeah, real hacky sack move. One of those.
Boom.
Kicks it up, grabs it, and throws
Yeah.
it back in the honest. I'm like, dude, that's gangster. He looked.
Wow.
He scored a lot of points.
Yeah.
For it.
It's pretty tight.
That's so dope.
Well, yeah. If you're singing "Just Stop Your Crying," you can't like be violent during
It's
that.
a sign of the.
Yeah. No
Times.
bullets,
Yeah.
don't hurt each other, and then he gets thrown. You got to be like, hey, you know what I
Just
mean?
stop your you fucking asshole.
Yeah, that would ruin everything. The whole.
He's just gonna pull out a gun and just start blasting.
He's gonna be crazy.
Just stop.
His security, yeah.
Yeah. So and then Bebe Rexha
Okay.
got hit with a cell phone.
Oh, that's
fucking
messed
busted her
up,
face open, dude. Check this out.
That's
So
messed up.
a concert goer threw a cell phone at Baby Rexha. BB Rexha?
You know
I
BB
don't
Rexha. She's
I know who
a
she is.
massive star. Yeah.
She did that
I'm
one
talking to
song with
Strat.
that terrible band. What's that?
She's done a fucking so many
Kentucky,
songs.
Kentucky Derby, fucking state lines.
I don't know.
Florida,
which one.
Georgia line.
Oh yeah, yeah. She did do a song.
What's
with
that
them.
dumbass song called? And how does it go? It's really catchy and good.
I don't
but
know.
I'm pretend I hate it.
I don't know. She does. She has songs with Drake and Nicki
Just
Minaj.
stop your crying, Georgia, Florida line.
There you
right?
go. Yeah.
Whatever, dude. You know this song, Georgia, Florida line.
Yeah.
She did that Nicki Minaj song. That Hey Mama, Hey. That's like the beginning of her career, and that song's
That's
like 10
a
years
long
old.
time ago,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's had a huge career for
Wasn't
a long
that
time.
not Nicki Minaj at all?
Yeah, it was.
That was like Black Eyed Peas or
No,
something, right?
it wasn't.
Hey, mama,
You're thinking of a different
hey,
song.
Mama, hey,
Yeah.
hey, mama.
Let's get it started. I think that's
Yeah.
the song.
You're thinking of a different one. Yeah.
Let's get it started and yeah, and yeah. Oh, that was the Howard Dean song. Let's get it started and yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember
we'll
when
do this concert in Florida and we'll do this concert in
Remember
Kentucky.
when a small pew could get you like off the presidential
Dude,
ticket?
you know
Oh,
Howard
yeah.
Dean was set to win that election.
It's crazy.
He was going to win.
It's crazy. It's my
And won. Yeah! Best thing ever. And Jared, we even spoke about this
Yeah.
on the show. But the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And Stratton, tell me, do you watch Rick and Morty?
No.
Okay, well you're dead. You're
missing
dead to me.
out, man.
So
I know that
Strat
there's something
doesn't
about pickles in it, and that's about it.
That's
See
funny.
that sucks. That's all you know
interesting.
about a great show is
Yeah.
one little.
It's like
joke in an episode.
if Doc and Marty went on several adventures
Rick
across
and Morty. It was
multiverses.
literally based on Doc and Marty, but obviously they don't own the rights to that.
It's
They also had
cartoons.
like a Chick-fil-A sauce, right, or something.
It is Black Eyed Peas. Thank you, Given Life. I'm right.
McDonald's, Szechuan sauce.
So
Szechuan.
yeah. So check it out. So in the show, him and this guy just complete this mission. And he's like, "Oh, great job, Jerry! Great job!" He's like, "Yeah!" He's like, "Jerry, do your Howard Dean scream!" And he goes, "Yeah!" Dude, it's the fucking funny. They do like those kind of jokes,
Yeah,
which is
it's fun.
so good to me.
I love a good
It's
joke.
so well written, that
do you
show,
like?
dude.
See, I never knew if you liked a good joke or not.
Yeah,
love a
it's
good
weird.
joke.
You never know who
It's-
likes humor.
It's really tough to find people who like humor these days.
I'm one of the few.
There you
Yeah, it's hard to find. So
That's why we
and
wanted
I
you
don't
here.
want. I don't want to approach someone who doesn't like jokes and make one. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
no.
totally.
You know. So, dude, you want to know what else is crazy? I mentioned it before.
Yes.
Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet, dude.
You know,
What do we
that?
think of
That's
this?
a little disappointing to me.
What, them being
'Cause
together?
he could do better, or she could do better.
No, he could do better.
He could do
yeah,
better,
I
right?
think Timothy Chalamet is a phenomenal actor, and
He is.
I feel like
Which makes him better.
Like really, you can
Kylie
hop on a
Jenner-
Kardashian.
Kylie is the billionaire
No,
entrepreneur,
ready?
right?
Leave out the important words, and I'll fill them in for you.
No,
Ready?
she is, right?
I didn't hear
Yeah,
what you
let's
said.
do Kardashian ad lib.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Kylie is the billionaire.
you're not leaving any words out here.
Just stopped. Yeah.
Producer,
Of one of the biggest
makeup.
products.
This is just being a real sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scientifically speaking,
There are no bad
juju,
in her.
but
Just really fill.
Hold on, Kylie Jenner is, of all of the Kardashians,
Jenner
and
Dashians.
Jenners and stuff, she seems to be the most business centric and fucking
Savvy.
Yeah, probably the savviest of all of them. They all are very business minded women. They've gotten to a place now where they have empires.
you know what I like about Kylie?
She's the biggest.
I like that she turned her face into someone else's. That's
Yeah,
so
but
fucking
see,
dope.
that's the downside.
I like that she was like
I don't
this,
like that she didn't
and
like
then she went,
who she
"Oh, no."
is physically.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not a Kardashian basher. I
Me
I
neither.
feel like that
We're
like
called Kardashians.
Kardashians.
Yeah, I
Listen, yeah, I mean,
I'm not either.
Do you like whatever?
Yeah.
It's but I just feel like there's a lot of production involved there, and Timothy Chalamet, as someone who's never met him and never spoke to him,
Yeah.
seems like a really real like.
Wait,
dude.
but
Dude, those
didn't you
girls
say
work
you live in
harder
LA?
than
Well, hold
anyone.
on.
LA's
Yeah.
a big place. We have 10 million people, or 8 million people in LA
Okay.
County. So.
So you have met him, you're saying?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, good stuff. So yeah, I think it's a weird couple. I think she is.
JB agrees, not her type.
Yeah, she's a little too
Timothy Chalamet.
light skinned.
That's funny. And she said, yeah, she's amazing. Her and Kim. She looks like me. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, that's true. She does get that a lot in public. But truly, Kylie Jenner she's at the top of the list when it comes to the Kardashians. To me, I think she is a legit businesswoman.
Can I give you my
amazing
list?
marketing mind? And she's doing
Ready?
it, man.
It goes. Ready, and this is the real order.
Sure.
It goes. Khloe.
Oh my God, one of the sweetest people of all time.
Are you talking about ranking? Or are you talking about
I'm
business?
ranking
Okay,
them.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm ranking them.
I met Chloe very briefly. She's like the sweetest of all time.
Yeah, she was real nice.
Yep.
I didn't meet her. I'm kidding. Oh yeah, you met her with BLG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, at the fucking hotel.
Yeah.
And then you guys went to the club. I remember that.
Yep.
Because I couldn't get in.
The Beatles Love Lounge.
Yeah, that's right. So, because I was hanging out with you guys before, then I had to go because you guys were going to the club and I was a child. So, it goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie. I don't forget what I was doing. I don't care. I'm a rate.
You were ranking
It goes.
the
I know. It goes.
Kardashians.
It goes. Chloe.
Yeah.
Kylie. Kendall. No, Kylie's low. Chloe, Kendall, Kim.
Kylie's low.
Yep. Chloe, Kendall, Kim, Kylie.
What are you
Courtney,
ranking them on? I think the criteria
general
needs to be
humanity.
Then Kylie's got to be at the top of the list.
No, that's why Courtney's at the bottom because her eyes are dead.
Yeah.
So
I
it
agree
goes.
with you there.
It goes. Chloe.
Yeah.
Kylie. Or
Yeah.
Chloe, Kendall. What's the big one?
Kendall seems
Chloe,
very
Kendall,
normal.
Kim. Hold on, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, he's
right,
like, anyway. LA insider over here. He's like, this is a normal conversation for us every day. Yeah, we're always ranking Kardashians.
I didn't think when you guys brought me on, we'd be ranking Kardashians by the end of the episode.
Welcome to the podcast that never sleeps, motherfucker.
Yeah, we get into it all. So, that was a fun show. We ran out of time. Yucatan Peninsula, they found all kinds of cool stuff. I was going to get into that, but we ran out of time. Maybe some other time we'll get into it.
Maybe some other time we'll get into it. We talked about a lot of shit. Sorry, you guys spent too much time talking about the EPA.
Oh, you mean? This was good.
Okay. It was very good.
Yeah,
it was very good stuff.
I had fun
so, Strat, thanks so much. We appreciate your time, sir.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Hopefully I can come back soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Great insight on a lot of issues. Thank you to the chat. Super engaged today. You guys had a lot of cool things to say. Thank you for being a part of the show. If you're watching this after the live show, leave comments. Tell us what you like, what you want us to talk about. We love you guys so much for being involved, and just for the like and subscribe, please. It helps us so much. Share the videos. Thank you for all your help. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Well said. Well said. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays from me also. But so this was supposed to be a year in review, but year in rear view. Get it? Clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just it was a TPTN episode. Baby, we talk, we have a little fun.
Reviewed the year.
We joke, we kid. So we have fun here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much from Stratocaster over there to Jared to me. We love you guys so much. Stay on the up and up. Stay cool, and we'll talk to you later. Peace, guys. Thank you so much. Whoop.